fall of Chief MB, a tale of greed and deception. A long time ago, in the great kingdom of Nsuwa, there lived a man named Chief MB. He was known far and wide for his cunning ways, always scheming and finding ways to outsmart those around him. While others worked hard for their wealth and respect, Chief MB relied on deception to get ahead. He believed himself untouchable, always a step ahead of those who dared to challenge him. One day, news spread across the land that the king of Nsuwa was hosting a grand banquet in the sky. It was a feast unlike any other, reserved only for the nobles and the wisest elders of the kingdom. The tables would be filled with the finest meats, the sweetest fruits, and the most expensive wines. When Chief MB heard of this, he could not resist. How could there be a feast without him? He had to be there, no matter what it took. The problem was, he was not invited. Determined to attend, he devised a plan. He went to the elders and pleaded, "My dear friends, have I not always stood by your side in times of need? Will you truly leave me behind while you all enjoy the king's generosity?" The elders hesitated. They knew MB's reputation. But not wanting to be seen as unkind, they agreed to help him. Each one lent him a piece of their ceremonial attire, fine robes, beaded crowns, and golden anklets, so he could blend in at the banquet. Before entering the grand hall, MB turned to the nobles and said, "Since I am joining this feast as one of you, let us do something special. From now on, call me all of you." The nobles found this request strange, but they agreed. When the feast began, the king's steward stood up and announced, "This meal is for all of you." Chief MB immediately rose to his feet. "Oh, you have all heard him. The food is for me, for my name is all of you." With that, he rushed to the table, filling his plate with the finest meats and the richest wines. The nobles watched in shock as he gorged himself, leaving nothing for the rest. Each time the steward made another announcement, "The wine is for all of you, the gifts are for all of you," Chief MB claimed them all for himself, using the name he had tricked them into calling him. Anger boiled in the hearts of the nobles. They realized they had been deceived. "This man has stolen our kindness and turned it into greed," one of them whispered. "We must teach him a lesson," another said. One by one, the nobles reclaimed the pieces of attire they had given him. They took back the robes, the beads, and the crowns until Chief MB stood in the middle of the grand hall in nothing but his undergarments. Laughter erupted from the crowd. Humiliated, MB tried to run, but the king's guards blocked his way. "You have embarrassed yourself," the king said sternly. "For your greed, you shall leave this feast with nothing but shame." Banished from the banquet, MB had no choice but to walk through the streets of Nsuwa in disgrace. People pointed and laughed as he covered himself with his hands, his reputation shattered beyond repair. From that day on, he was never trusted again. He had outsmarted others for years, but in the end, his own trick had led to his downfall. And so, the elders of Nsuwa would always say, "A trickster's path is long, but one day, he will fall into his own trap."